Hi friends. As we learn about Martin Luther King Jr. today, we're still going to be practicing the skill of main idea and finding that supporting evidence that authors put in books when they are giving you information. So we're going to use just a part of the book called Martin's Big Words. Here's the title page, Martin's Big Words. The subtitle is The Life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and it was written by Doreen Rappaport, illustrated by Brian Collier. Okay, so that's the book we're going to use, and we're only going to use a portion of it. So the author's main idea in this part of the book is that Martin Luther King Jr. protested peacefully. That means he's kind of like fighting for what he believes, but in a very peaceful way. He's not fighting, he's not using harsh words, and he's not punching or hitting or fighting with your body. So let's see what the author says in here, and let's find the evidence that that is what the author is telling us, okay? So we're going to read it, just 4 pages. Here we go. In 1955, on a cold December day in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks was coming home from work. A white man told her to get up from her seat so he could sit down. She said no. She was arrested. Montgomery's black citizens learned of her arrest, and it made them angry. They decided not to ride the buses until they could sit anywhere they wanted. Now, so far, Martin Luther King Jr. hasn't done anything, but this is the situation. This is what's going on. Listen to this part. For 381 days, they walked to work and school and church, and they walked in the rain and cold and in blistering heat. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them until the white city leaders had agreed that they could sit anywhere they wanted. And here's a quote from Martin Luther King. It says, "When the history books are written, someone will say, there lived black people who had courage to stand up for their rights." Here's the picture. Now, thinking about that piece of the book right there, if the author's main idea is that Martin Luther King Jr. could protest peacefully or fight for what he believes peacefully, what just happened in this book to prove that? Think about it one more time. I'm going to read this one sentence to you again. It's a long sentence, but listen to what Martin Luther King Jr. did. That's going to be our evidence. Listen. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them until the white city leaders had to agree they could sit anywhere they wanted. So, I want you to stop the video in a minute. On your slide, it has the quote. I want you to see if you can remember the 4 things that Martin Luther King Jr. did to protest peacefully. This is the author's evidence. Ready? Pause the video real quick.